Okay.
Okay, so Angela, Jay, and we all did the same location to volunteer at, and that was Freedom for Youth. And our community partner was located on Hickman in Des Moines. Their mission statement was to empower youth across Iowa through the love of Jesus Christ to break the bondages, discover their God-given talents, and transform their lives. So basically, their purpose is to give the kids purpose and help them find their talents while still showing them the love of God and the path of God. Their vision statement is to unite the Christian community, to reach out to our youth in Iowa, and empower believers to demonstrate their love for Jesus through sharing their time and talents with the youth we serve. So a little bit of history about Freedom for Youth. It was inspired by a girl who was actually addicted to abusing drugs. Mark Nielsen created it in 2003. And originally, it was a place for homeless teens to feel comfort and love. As Freedom of Youth continues, it continuously grows. In 2006, it opened the K through 12 programs, which I'll discuss later. 2009, they began a statewide outreach program. And in 2012, the Coffee Work Training Program began. Freedom is also reaching out more across Iowa. They're actually in 47 other areas besides Des Moines. So the three programs that I talked about that were opened up in 2006, they're all very similar, Whiz Kids, Discovery, and Journey. And basically the main point of them is to help them get through school, attend Bible studies, tutoring, basically just helping them learn with also the love of Jesus Christ. And as they get older, it helps them prepare them for a job and show them all the opportunities in Des Moines. And Whiz Kids is for the elementary school, Discovery is for middle school, and Journey is for the high school. There are other programs apart from those programs. Transitions is 18 through 22, so the programs don't just stop after the kids graduate. They want to continue showing them the love of God and continue growing with them. So that's when they start training for employees and just getting them out on their own, transitioning from the youth to adult life. The Freedom Blend Coffee, it's a business that teaches the kids how to basically be an employee still under the ropes of Jesus Christ, like Freedom for Youth does everything with Jesus Christ. There's also Freedom Construction Services, which started in 2005 and provides employing training in various building and construction trades.
The social issues that Freedom for Youth attempts to address is under-resourced neighborhoods and impoverished communities and populations, youth homelessness, unstable and unhealthy relationships for kids and their families, misguided and unsupported youth, youth hunger, and youth lack of education and illiteracy. The nature of me, Angela, and Katie's project and how it contributes to the mission of our community partner is our service at Freedom for Youth helped us teach children and teens many different skills. We were able to act as mentors to a population of youth that is commonly seen as misunderstood and misguided. Our engagement showed the kids that they are cared for, loved, and important. This is beneficial by helping build trust, healthy relationships, and provide support that they might not get elsewhere. Our service at Freedom for Youth also, sorry, I had a glitch. We also discussed Jesus Christ and his services to others. We were able to educate children and teens who have not had the opportunity to navigate and understand Jesus' teachings. This was beneficial by helping spread the word and love of God, which is Freedom for Youth's #1 focus. Also, we were able to serve healthy meals to children and teens that may not have gotten fed otherwise. This is beneficial because it allows us to build relationships through sharing of food and help them understand the importance of thankfulness through the word of prayer before mealtime. We were also able to offer our presence and extra hands to serve meals. There were three main things that we all volunteered for. The first one was free time, and Dr. Mar, you can see, or Professor Mar, you can see on the slide, free time, we engage with kids during free time and socialize with them during dinner time. We were a mentor and a role model by action and presence by providing companionship. We act as an extra set of eyes along with the other volunteers. And on both the slides, you can see that there's two pictures. The children, they were celebrating a movie day. And the movie that they chose, that was their choice, was Finding Dory. And then also, other thing we participated in is tutoring. The tutoring helped the children build educational confidence, and the activities promote success in school. One-on-one tutoring time, we worked on educational worksheets, and they always have a 30-minute buddy reading where they sit with the volunteer. And then also the tutoring provided structure and mentorship and consistency, which helps the kids and the students develop skills and healthy relationships with their peers and adults. Also on this slide, you can see two pictures. Whenever the children finish their buddy reading, they get to choose a piece of candy out of the red tub. I mean, you'll get some kids that want to try to take 3 pieces, but I learned that they only get 1. And also, you can see me in the picture, and that is my tutoring buddy, Brenda. The last thing we did that I think me, Angela, and Caitlin really enjoyed was dinner time. I mean, because of course there's food, but we started every dinner with prayer, thanking God for our food, the company, and our volunteers. We helped serve the healthy meals to kids after free time and the tutoring sessions. This taught the kids proper etiquette, asking please and saying thank you after receiving their meal. And then we led by example by patiently waiting in line for the meal, pushing in our chairs after us, and also picking up after ourselves when we're done.
So Jay, Katie, and I came up with a few suggestions for the future about what we can offer to future servant leaders that are going through the same program. So be open and willing to help with whatever your community partner needs, regardless of if it's not part of the original plan or outside your expectations. I know all 3 of us kind of did things that were outside of our comfort zone and maybe not what we were expecting, but we just helped in whatever way we felt possible. Have time set aside to really invest in your community partner and assist with their specific needs, and if possible, volunteer time when your extra help is really needed. Field trips, tutoring, free time, and serving meals. So we all volunteered different parts of the days, so we were able to help with different activities. You know, in the morning when the kids weren't there, we helped with different things. Then in the evening, we helped serving meals. Divide volunteer hours between days or over a weekly period. This allows you to get acquainted with the kids, connect and build relationships, and have fun, enjoy yourself, and grow as a servant leader. So synopsis. Our time at Freedom for Youth gave us the opportunity to learn each child individually. We enjoyed our free time with them, and we learned a lot about ourselves in the process. We formed a bond with the children, making our project all that more special. Even working behind the scenes for Freedom for Youth was an amazing experience. It taught us that the smallest act of kindness can have a huge impact. Being able to clean and help build the coffee shop was a special experience. Sometimes it is hard to want to volunteer when you don't see the improvement immediately, but at Freedom for Youth, the people that continue to volunteer inspire all of us to come back. One of our highlights at Freedom for Youth was getting to conversate at dinner with the children and provide food for them. It made us feel good knowing that we were providing a meal that they might not have gotten elsewhere. We could feel the appreciation the children had when receiving their food. We were able to bond with the children during mealtime and provide company. The one-on-one time with the children made our time volunteering memorable. And assessment and analysis. Angela, Jay, and Katie felt the children in an underserved community of Des Moines were in a need of guidance, care, love, and companionship. The different activities involved helped the children interact with leaders and helps them focus on their relationship with God as well as enhance their education in school. In addition, every child was fed and did not leave hungry. Therefore, all of the social issues that Freedom for Youth attempts to tackle with the community were met. This volunteer opportunity gave all of us the chance to display compassion, kindness, and empathy. Our interactions with the kids helped us develop integrity and excellence by carrying through with what we were asked and doing our best with our project. Now each of us will share what we learned. I know personally what I learned is how big of an impact volunteering has had in my life. I've volunteered in the past before this class, but it kind of opens your eyes when you see when you go home and you just kind of have a full heart. Like at the Riverbend tour, he had said, one of the speakers had said that, you know, when you get a gift, it's kind of like, oh, thank you, but you don't really feel fulfilled. Well, I can definitely kind of speak for myself when I say that when we volunteered, I definitely felt more fulfilled when I went and helped the kids there and educated them and talked about God and prayed with them. And it's definitely something that I know I want to keep doing. And I expanded on my servant leadership skills and social skills, which is, I know I was put in an uncomfortable situation when, you know, you don't really know anybody, but it was definitely a good opportunity, and I know that I want to continue it. So Jay will go next for this.
Okay, what I learned, I definitely learned that youth is definitely our future. And for me, I feel like it's my obligation to educate, teach, love, and support them. I also learned that I can learn a lot from a child, and I definitely learned a lot from the children at Freedom for Youth. They taught me patience, and they also taught me not to take life so seriously. Sometimes I just get caught up in my day, you know, I'm in school, but at the end of the day, when I went to go volunteer with them, I was happy. I was excited to see them. I was excited to play with them. I was excited to read to them. And also, even though my time was short at Freedom for Youth, I definitely learned that doing servant leadership projects, such as that one we did there, it has definitely helped me grow. And I really want to continue volunteering there so I can just become a better leader altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And now Katie will share hers.
I learned that the most important thing in volunteering that I didn't even think about before this class is actually to keep an open mind when you go to volunteer for a ministry, because you could completely end up doing something that you did not expect or something that wasn't even shared on the tour. But for me, it was a life-changing experience, because I know that anything behind the scenes can make a huge difference in these kids' life, no matter what it is, whether it's building a coffee shop or whether you actually get to tutor them. And I also learned a lot of history behind the ministry and what they do. And I learned that it's a great ministry, and I would love to continue with it.
Just one more thing about our project. We just wanted to say thank you to Megan Kassemeyer, who helped us with all of our volunteer hours. And then a thank you to the other volunteers we met there. There were tons of volunteers at Freedom for Youth. And of course, thank you to all the kids that we volunteered with.
They were the best part. So
yes.
Yeah.
And then now Shauna will talk about her project.
Okay, my community partner was Family Promise of Beaufort County, and they are here in Bluffton, South Carolina. Their mission statement is to help homeless and low-income families achieve sustainable independence through a community-based response. And they believe that many of their homeless guests are the result of generational poverty and cyclical homelessness. Their goal is to help them break the cycle by providing comprehensive case management and assistance in securing employment, medical care, child care, school placement, and ultimately affordable housing. They opened their doors in 2008. They are one of 202 affiliates in 42 states. They are the only sheltering program in the county that serves homeless families with children. Family Promise itself is a national organization that first came to be after a woman named Karen Olson had a chance encounter with a homeless woman. She was then inspired to help the homeless in her community. She saw the benefit in using the existing resources to provide shelter, meals, and housing. The volunteers use their skills, knowledge, and compassion to help their homeless neighbors find employment, reconnect with society, and restore dignity. There are more than 550 homeless children in Beaufort County. Family Promise believes that one homeless child is one child too many. A little bit of their history. Since the inception, Family Promise of Beaufort County has assisted over 100 families that include more than 200 children. Of these families, 92% are still in permanent housing after 1 year. The organization Family Promise is the first national interfaith hospitality network that utilizes existing community resources to provide shelter, meals, and housing. What they do is they partner with local congregations, individuals, families, and other social service agencies, foundations, and businesses to provide temporary shelters and viable solutions. The organization itself is non-denominational, but the families here sleep in a network of 13 congregations, where volunteers from an additional 22 local congregations provide the evening meals and overnight companionships for the families. Family Promise is cost effective because they utilize the existing resources, and this allows them to provide $3 in goods and services for every $1 that they receive. Two of their main programs is the Day Center and the Staying on Track. The Day Center is kind of like the main hub, and that's where the families come during the day and they can do laundry. They have a computer center to do the employment and housing searches. They complete goal sheets. They complete their life skill programs, and they meet with the case manager. Staying on Track is a 12-month graduate program where they receive continued case management and accountability for utilizing the tools that they received while they were in shelter. Some of the social issues that they address is homelessness, unemployment, hunger, and community poverty. The main social issue that Family Promise addresses is homelessness, but that also encompasses unemployment and hunger. 1 child out of 5 lives in poverty. 1 in every 5 children in Beaufort County lives in poverty. And as I said before, there are more than 550 homeless children in Beaufort County. Nationally, families with children make up 40% of the people in this country who experience homelessness. These statistics highlight the need within the community to help these families find in the sustained, affordable, suitable housing. Family Promise helps these families who qualify initially by arranging the emergency shelter and meals through the local congregations. They take a holistic approach in helping their families. They educate and provide the families with the life skills. Additionally, they provide assistance with obtaining and maintaining employment. The nature of my project with them, how my project contributed to the mission work of Family Promise. I had hoped through the intake process I would identify frequent contributing factors that most often lead to homelessness and try to understand the cascading influences involved. Understanding the family's situation would allow me to show more empathy and become a better servant leader. Second, I hope to identify emotional and physical impact of homelessness on the families in order to better understand how to assist them. This will benefit my education by allowing me to have a better understanding of how homelessness can affect a family, which will then allow Family Promise to identify ways we can best meet their needs. By attending home visits in order to, I had hoped to attend home visits in order to provide families and continue accountability. This would have been beneficial to my community because it's helping to prevent repeated homelessness within the community of Buford. It also would provide an opportunity to strengthen my social skills. So I was actually able to take part in 3 opportunities with them. Unfortunately, with scheduling and time, it was hard to fit in everything that I wanted to. But the first thing that I was able to do was the food bank. The food bank that I went to was at a local congregation. It was in partnership with the organization Second Helping in order to provide food weekly from area grocery stores to those in need. Family Promise attended the food bank distribution in order to help out and reach out to the local community and educate as to the services that Family Promise provided. It was a great opportunity to speak to those in the community that were in need. So basically what I did when I was there is I assisted with the setup and food distribution, helped the case manager perform community outreach by identifying the services that Family Promise provided, and helped kind of assess the needs of the patrons. To maybe Family Promise could not have offered services, but we were able to help connect them with other local services available. And then it was also an opportunity to bring one of my children with me to let them experience volunteering. The next thing I was able to take part in was education. So one day I went to the main hub, the day center, and met with a couple of families. And I had the opportunity to assist the case manager in providing nutritional education to 2 of the guest families. Proper nutrition is extremely important because it combats a plethora of health issues that could cost the families money and even hinder successful employment. It was also an opportunity to teach the importance in modeling good nutrition choices for their children. And it was also an opportunity to realize that my nutrition was not the greatest, which also kind of helped establish a relationship with the families. During the same session, I had the opportunity to provide infant-child education to a young mother of one of the guest families. She had a 2-month-old infant as well as a 3-year-old who was staying at the shelter with her. And she wasn't very old. She was probably early 20s. And she had a lot of questions about how to care for her baby. Everything from feeding to how it should sleep, how to soothe the baby, how to discipline the 3-year-old. So it was an excellent opportunity. I assessed her knowledge base and then built on any deficits as well as addressed any questions that she had. This occasion provided the ability to address a life skill that the young mother was struggling with. The idea is helping her with that area of her life is going to help empower her as a mother in caring for her child and strengthening that bond. And then my third opportunity was I had the opportunity to stay overnight at a local congregation with the guest families. The congregations rely on volunteers to stay with the families overnight in order to provide the much needed shelter. It was a great opportunity to see what it was like for a family to stay in a makeshift home, as well as an opportunity to hang out with the families and addressed any further questions that they had. I actually hung out with the mother and her baby that evening and kind of showed her different ways to feed her baby and kind of held her, watched her baby for her while she was able to hang out a little bit with the other families and bond. It was also a chance to kind of talk to the mothers and kind of get a sense of where they came from. For the future ideas or future volunteers with Family Promise, look for ways to help build upon what your organization is already doing. Just because an organization has been doing something for however long doesn't mean that you cannot come up with new ideas to help them out. Don't be afraid to express new ideas and give suggestions on how you could help enhance the existing programs that they provide. I would encourage Family Promise to work with food banks to facilitate a possible change in their hours for food distribution during a time that is convenient for everyone that is in need of food. That would be an idea that I had. The idea behind that is that the food bank that I attended is regularly held on Fridays from 10 to 12. While this is a convenient time for those who may be unemployed, retired, elderly, etc., it's not a good time for the struggling working families that might also benefit from use of the bank. It would be nice to move the hours to the weekend or later in the evening. If future Family Promise volunteers were able to help make this a reality, it would foster a great opportunity for community service outreach. Other ideas are divide volunteer hours over a weekly period. This allows you to get acquainted with the families, build trust, and build relationships. Many of those families are there for several months. Don't be afraid to stay with the family overnight in order to build a foundation of companionship and support. Like I said, it was a really good opportunity to get to stay with them, to see what it was like to stay in a place that wasn't your home, sleep on an air mattress and some weird little room. And I couldn't imagine staying there with my children. And then have fun, enjoy yourself, and grow as a servant leader. My synopsis: attending the food bank afforded the opportunity to interact with some of those in the community who struggle to afford food. It was also an opportunity to teach my son the importance of volunteering and that there are those who are not as fortunate as we are. And he's on the slide. The opportunity to provide education to the guest family was an invaluable experience. I really enjoyed that experience because I felt like I really got to draw on my nursing experience. Education is often underrated. Teaching these families how to care for themselves and their children was a chance to empower these, strengthen their skills as care providers. It was also a great lesson on how to relate and communicate effectively in order to have your message received. Staying the night at the congregation was a special experience. It almost felt like a peek into their life at that moment. I got to experience what it was like for the families to be transient, sleeping on air mattresses in a place that is not home. It was also an opportunity to see how the families bond and help each other out. My assessment and analysis. The opportunities provided at Family Promise gave me a better understanding of homelessness. It also provided me with a better understanding of the effects of homelessness and how multiple factors work in concert to facilitate the situation. Working with the guest families allowed me the opportunity to put a face to homelessness and ultimately gain a better insight into these family situations. This project also made me realize that as a healthcare provider, we are often in situations to help out these individuals, whether it is providing education, directing families to local resources, or volunteering and inspiring our colleagues to do the same. While I was not able to take part in a home visit or an intake process due to the scheduling, all of my experiences allowed me to reach my objectives via a different route. Having the opportunity to volunteer with Family Promise of Beaufort County gave me the chance to serve those in my community who are in great need. I had the opportunity to listen to their needs and find ways in which I could help them. I showed great compassion and empathy throughout my project. This project will stay with me, and I plan to continue volunteering and recruiting my children to do the same as well. What I took from this project, that homelessness is not necessarily the person that you typically see portrayed on TV or in the movies. It can be the face of the person that you may work with next to you every day, or the person that you might see in school every day. This really illuminated the need to exercise empathy, compassion, and understanding. You never know when you might be in their shoes. You could be one bad situation, one unforeseen circumstance, and be in their place. I also learned how important it is to be involved in your community. By helping the less fortunate in your community, you are helping to strengthen it. Your actions by helping those in your community are inspiring others to do the same, whether it's those that you help or those that see what you do. Family Promise was just a great chance to help a very vulnerable population within my community. And lastly, a special thank you to the Family Promise of Beaufort County and the families that allowed me to volunteer and serve them. I think that's it.
Yep.